Alright folks, today we're going to talk about Birdie a little bit. One of my favorite characters in the Street Fighter universe. Glad to see him make an appearance in Street Fighter V, so I'm spending quite a bit of time learning how he works. And one thing I noticed is how effective his mix-ups are. Now we can sit here and focus on how great his normals are, how effective they are in combat, and how they are some of the most devastating normals in the game. But instead, we're going to focus on what I think is the base of good Birdie play, which is his devastating mix-ups. So one thing you may have noticed is that this is not like Street Fighter 4. This isn't like play defensive and do frame data in your head until you're safe. They reward you a bit more for taking risks, and block stun I don't think has ever been more powerful in a Street Fighter game. So they really reward you for locking the guy in, getting in the pocket, and just being able to mix him up to death. So Birdie is quite good at that, but you need to know what to do and when to do it. So here's a thing that I do to try to open people up and do some damage, hopefully dizzy them and get a big combo off of it. So first of all, Birdie's jumping medium is pretty good. It's not wise to jump around a lot in Street Fighter, but if you can get it off, it's good. It's also deceiving cross-up. Looks like you're going over his head. Sometimes it's like right there. So sometimes you don't even know where you're gonna land. But you could completely lock people in with a jumping medium, standing medium. Now, standing medium is excellent. It's a good starter for pretty much most of his combos. But we're not going to focus on that. We're focusing on locking down the opponent with the medium to get off an air grab. Alright, so let me just show you an example of what I'm talking about. So pretty much locking down your opponent, throwing out normals to try to catch their counters. And all that will work. Even if they get hit by it, this shit doesn't combo, but it will follow up. If you do that setup, pretty much everyone will fall for it for the first time. I haven't seen anybody that hasn't fall for it. The way to get out of it is to jump or to do something else. And I'll tell you, that's part of the whole game. Alright, so here's just kind of like a standard. You're using the jab to catch him. His crouching jab is incredibly good for some reason. But you're locking them down and making them block so that you can get them with the grab, obviously. So once they get hit with it once, they're going to know what it looks like, and they're going to try to jump. So what you do instead, you come in and throw a chain right up in their face. You grab them right out of the air. Now let's say you're like Dalsum or something, and they can slide right through it. What you do is you do the same setup and then just throw a chain at them. Plus, also off of this, you could do these kind of hit confirm setups where you do a duck and jab standing light into headbutt. Now that works. In the betas, I didn't play a lot of the betas, but in the betas, I think you used to be able to do like jab, jab, standing jab into headbutt. And that was kind of cheesy. So they changed it around. And this is the way you this is like the dumbed down version of that. So you're pretty much hit confirming into headbutt. So it's either that. Oh, and they block. Get him in the setup. So they remember that setup. They can jump away from him. But if you know they're gonna jump, get them right out of the air. But really, you can just do whatever you want. These mix-ups are just a suggestion, and it's pretty much, you're just trying to like weird people out. And a good way to get in your jumping grab is to disguise it behind block strings. And that's pretty much your goal. You could always do an EX to try to do a bit of a faster grab. If you think they're going to jump away or you think they're going to react to it. Just to ensure more damage. Make sure you get that combo off, or that setup off. But you gotta be careful. If you're too close, it'll go right over them. Yeah. Now, I mean, this is just one layer. Like the entire time, you're also mixing up like command grabs, and of course, watch your head. Birdie's got a pretty solid overhead that will like I think it makes his hitbox lower, so if, like, let's say Ryu does a crouching medium kick, it will whiff, and I will hit him in the face. So, use that as much as you can. It's such a great tool. It does a lot of damage, too. Also, if you're close enough, it hits twice on a standing opponent. Let's see. So it could break through armor. Not so good for breaking through armor, but, like, I guess Zangief and even Birdie's charge shoulder. Also, it's worth noting that Birdie can cancel into his V-trigger from any normal. So that creates some interesting combo options. Now here's a fun little hit confirm that's completely safe with the help of V-trigger. Yeah, he hurts. Also, if you ever get a bullhorn off, you can cancel it into V-trigger for free super. That works pretty much everywhere. Being able to cancel pretty much every action into V-trigger really gives Birdie the advantage when it comes to popping it. He's able to use V-trigger very well because it gives him increased movement speed, damage on everything that he does, and different properties on some of his moves. You're gonna play in this balancing act of whether or not you want to try to eat food in between knockdowns or focus on pressure. It takes 6 times to eat any type of food to build up 1 V stock. But besides just straight up eating the burgers, you could use them for valuable setups. I mean, throwing a banana down, how silly it may be, is incredibly useful. I mean, Ryu cannot jump in on me right now. He only has a limited set of options. I mean, if I throw this down, then I have the ability to throw a free chain for a poke. Or maybe if he throws a fireball that distance, I can catch him for fireballs. The basis of Birdie is pretty much being able to read your opponent. A lot of times, you'll just predict them to be able to throw a fireball, and you just catch them with a chain, and there you go. Get in their head a little bit. I mean, an incredibly simple setup is a can, have them block it, go into grab. Or if they jump over it, you chain them. I know I said I wasn't really going to mention normals, but Birdie's crouching medium is insane. You know what? Fuck it. Let's talk about normals just for a moment. Standing medium is excellent. Standing medium punch, excellent. Leads into most B&Bs. Crouching fierce, when hit again, does a follow-up, but I'd rather go for the up chains. One of his most damaging meterless combos is jump in roundhouse crouching fierce into up chains. You'll use this a lot when you get an opponent dizzy or a straight punish. Now let's talk about crush counters for a second. The first of which is forward heavy punch, which has armor on it. Now standard follow-up for that is an EX chain. You can do EX headbutts, but it's not really meter efficient. As far as I can tell, the best thing to do after is just a standard medium bull. His second crush counter is his standing roundhouse. His standing roundhouse is his second crush counter. I'm not really sure how effective it is. It's got a slow startup, and the range is not as good as like standing medium. So, as far as I can tell, this has more follow-up options. You can go into a chain, which then you can go into mix-ups after that. Because they're grounded, you can go into a grounded combo. You can kind of do whatever you want after that. Just be ready to do something. His crouching medium is pretty good. His third crush counter is his crouching roundhouse, which creates a hard knockdown. Hard knockdowns are good for any kind of grappler character. It's worth noting, though, that Birdie's grapple is not as good as Armika's and Zangief's. His is the same speed as a regular grapple. Or I should say grab. Armika's and Zangief's are 4 frames, while his is 5. So, you will always be at a disadvantage against a true grappler. But he's not really a grappler, he's a pseudo-grappler like Abel or Alex, which is coming out soon. Also, Birdie, more than most people, need to use V reversals. He has no real get-off-me move like a Shuryu or a 3-framer. a cannon drill or something, so he needs to use his nose.
I'm gonna make you buy me lunch later.
So that's pretty much it. I have a lot of fun with Birdie. I've sat in the lab for quite a while learning all this crap, and I thought I'd share it with you guys. I'm no pro by any means, but I pretty much win about 90% of the time with Birdie when you use these techniques. So if you apply it properly and train and become second nature, well, you can grow up to be just like me. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you thought this was useful. Go out there and kick some ass, everybody. Hope you take it easy.